few weeks ago, I began using the Transplant skill. The skill is fine, but it eventually has some pretty bad rubber banding issues. It turns out that it works completely fine at first, but as the duration of your play session gets longer, the skill gets worse. I don't even have to actively use a skill for it to become worse. I just have to be in the game. I can log in, go AFK 10 minutes, come back, and I'll see rubber banding the first time I use the skill. It can get so bad that you can rubber band more than the entire width of your screen. I started a fresh session. I came in, tried using Transplant a few times, and I could not see any rubber banding at all at the start. After being idle for 10 minutes, I gave it another try. This time I could see the hitch, as you can see here in slow motion. It's not a lot, but it's beginning to be there. It is around 8 to 9 frames of animation, at least as it was captured and re-encoded here. After 20 minutes, the rubber banding would occur 17 frames after the character was moved to a new location on the client side. After 30 minutes, I began seeing the rubber band happen about 26 frames after I moved from the transplant. Skipping ahead to 60 minutes, once you initially move from transplant, you're going to have about 50 frames before you suddenly snap back from the rubber banding. When this rubber band happens, you actually get snapped back to a position that's no longer even on the screen. What makes this particular issue even worse is that whenever you are in that period between when you've teleported from the transport and waiting for that snap to happen from the rubber banding, the server side appears to actually think that you're standing completely still. So if you transport, then move out of a location where you're taking damage, then on the server side, it still thinks you're there. You're still getting hit by monsters, by ground effects, or whatever. And so you can still die, even though on your client, it looks like you are safe. And that may be the worst part of it all. For example, right here. I am dead, even though it looks like I'm out of the fire. Though on the bright side, it does appear that death actually does cure this state. So once you die, your transports act normally again, at least for the time being. It can also be reset again temporarily by logging out and back in. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. I hope somebody finds this useful. I spent way too much time testing this and making this video. This is literally the first video editing I've ever done, so there you go.